Hi everyone, I'm Dr. Avani Ratan. I'm your faculty at Conceptual Psychology, and I'm here today to help you with the eighth subtopic of social psychology, which is prejudice and discrimination. Starting with, what is prejudice? So, prejudice is a negative attitude towards people based on their membership in a group. It includes beliefs, which are stereotypes, emotions, which is either you dislike the group or you fear the group, and behaviors, which is discriminatory. So, believing women are bad drivers is a stereotype. Feeling uneasy around people of another religion is an emotional bias. Refusing to hire someone because of caste or race, that is discrimination. Now, talking about stereotypes, prejudice, and discrimination. What are stereotypes? Those are oversimplified beliefs about a group. What is prejudice? These are negative feelings towards that group. What is discrimination? That is unfair behavior towards group members. So, stereotype is all teenagers are irresponsible. Prejudice is disliking teenagers because you think they are irresponsible. Discrimination is not giving teenagers part-time jobs because of that belief. What are the causes of prejudice? The first is social learning. So, children learn prejudice from parents, from peers, and even media. So, a child may grow up fearing another religion if parents constantly speak negatively about it, right? The second is the realistic conflict theory. So, prejudice arises from competition over limited resources such as job, housing, power. So, the tension between migrant workers and locals competing for employment is the example of realistic conflict theory. What is social identity theory, which was given by Tajfel and Turner? It is an important concept from examination point of view. Social identity theory is where people divide the world into in-group, which is us, and out-group, which is them. So, to boost self esteem, people favor their in group and discriminate against the out groups. So, here, fans of one football team may insult rival team supporters even without any personal conflict. Then comes the scapegoat theory. Here, prejudice may arise from blaming others for one's own problems. So, during the economic recessions, immigrants are often blamed for taking away the jobs. What are the consequences of prejudice? It limits the opportunities for victims, such as the education, jobs, or housing. It creates inequality and injustice. It can lead to hostility, violence, and even large scale conflicts. As an example, the racial segregation in the US or the caste discrimination in India, they created the systemic inequalities which are lasting for generations, right? How do you reduce prejudice? First is the intergroup contact, which was the Alport's contact hypothesis. So, prejudice decreases when groups interact under certain conditions. One is equal status, second is common goals, third is cooperation, and fourth is institutional support. So, the schools that encourage students of different communities to work together on projects, they reduce prejudice. Second is education. Teaching children about diversity and empathy reduces stereotypes. So, classroom activities celebrating multiple cultures with festival, food, and stories, that is the way to reduce prejudice. Law and policies, there are anti-discrimination laws, maybe reservations, maybe affirmative action, equal employment laws, these help reduce prejudice-driven behavior, right? All of these would help in reducing prejudice. Then there are cognitive approaches in which you train people to replace the stereotypes with individual information. So instead of assuming all elderly are forgetful, learning about specific older people who are highly active and intelligent would help you reduce the cognitive stereotypes against that particular group. Now, subordinate goals. Keep in mind the sheriff's robbers cave experiment over here. So, prejudice reduces when groups must cooperate to achieve a shared goal. Right? So, rival communities working together to rebuild after a natural disaster reduces prejudice. So, how do we summarize prejudice and discrimination? Prejudice is a negative attitude, discrimination is a negative action. These are caused by learning, competition, social identity, and scapegoating. And these are reduced by contact, education, laws, and cooperation. So that's how we could summarize prejudice and discrimination. And that's how we could summarize the entire important syllabus for social psychology as per the M.Phil entrance examination needs. I wish you all the best. Thank you.